again. All right, so shoulder work. If you don't have a strap, you can use a tie, an extension cord, whatever you have. You might not need a strap, you might. For Gomukhasana arms, what you're going to do is lift right hand up, take left hand behind your back, bend the elbows, and see if you can reach your fingers together. This is where the strap comes in handy. You can bend the arm behind you, drop the strap from the top. Whew, okay. Get a little twisted up. Okay, so bending the arm behind you, dropping the strap from the top, and then cinching down to whatever height is appropriate for you. Once you have the hold on the straps, the important part is to bring the belly back in, sink the belly button in towards the spine, allow the elbows to reach behind you, allow the shoulders to open, the heart to open, and breathe. Think about having a neutral spine, head is elongating towards the sky, chin is maybe slightly tucked, and holding here. If you can, I'm not going to hold you here this long right now, but if you can hold for even 2 to 3 minutes, it's really helpful to stimulate the synovial fluid production in the joints, the shoulder and the elbow, which can help to promote lubrication of the joints and prevent stiffness. So it's really nice to hold things, and then it's really nice to find movement as well. We do have all of those lymph glands right around in these areas, and it's really important to keep everything moving in there. So, switching arms, drop that strap down, take a hold of it, and maybe one day you find the fingertips. Also notice how each side is very different, and that's the way it usually is. And also each day will be different. So some days you might find that you almost have your fingertips, and some days you're quite a ways away. But this is really good for our shoulders, for getting into the front of the shoulder. Gomukhasana arms. And if you'd like to incorporate Gomukhasana legs, you can either stack knees, or if that's not going to work for you, you can stack ankles, stack shins, but this way you begin to work into the hips as well. So, full Gomukhasana. And maybe you decide to start your morning practice with Gomukhasana, and maybe you decide to work more into the hips, leaning forward, stretching into the hips here. You should feel it on the right glute as well. But I wanted to show you a couple of other standing postures to move into the shoulders. One being triangle. So for triangle, left foot is pointed towards the edge of the mat, right foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. So we've got one foot pointed in this direction, one foot parallel pointed towards you. And inhaling, arms up, exhaling, reaching forward, inhaling, dropping into triangle. Now you can use a block for this, and actually a block is really nice whether you need it or not. It helps you to release into the pose, and the block can be right behind the foot. And just playing with the extended arm, bringing it over the ear, back to the sky, and maybe even wrapping around the back. And when you wrap, the palm of the hand is facing away from you, and you're rolling, opening that shoulder. So rolling the shoulder open, and then releasing, and maybe finding movement, maybe finding stillness, coming back, switching directions. Maybe you have 2 blocks and they're just ready for you, or maybe you're moving it around. And if you don't have blocks, you can use books. So reaching, feel the opening in the left side body, planting the hand. Gaze can be up if it's comfortable for your neck, maybe down. Reaching over the ear, coming back to center, wrapping the arm behind, opening through the chest, and coming back to standing, mountain pose, Tadasana. Mountain pose, everything is rooted into the ground. Crown of the head is lengthening as though it's on a string. And one more thing I'd like to show you. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, bringing them to a reverse prayer. If this is not comfortable for you, take a hold of elbows. So for reverse prayer, same thing as seated in Gomukhasana. Once you get your hands there, engage your belly button in towards the spine again, so you're not jutting the belly out. You've got the core engaged, open through the shoulders, and then maybe you move into both toes pointing in the same direction. Engage your core, bending forward, moving into a hamstring opener. And this is my little friend Samson that I'm dog sitting. If you can see him, coming back up, switching directions, and fold. And in the classes that I host live, I tend to move us from pose to pose, things like this, shoulder opening. It's nice to create flows, but it's also nice just to know a couple of movements so that when you don't have time, you can just take a seat and take 2 minutes, find your Gomukhasana or find your triangle, whatever you're feeling in that moment. And more to come.